In this video, I'm going to talk about the Hollywoodification of Dungeons & Dragons, Critical Role, and the community they inspired, and why some people think the golden age of tabletop role-playing games is over. If you don't know, Critical Role is a company focused on a group of friends and professional voice actors who live stream their game of Dungeons & Dragons. The show started as a web series in 2015 on the Geek and Sundry channel, and proceeded to take the internet by storm. The show surged in popularity in following years, introducing a new and larger community to Dungeons & Dragons. But it wasn't just the game that attracted such a rampant following.
It's clearly not just because we're people playing Dungeons & Dragons. There's a lot of D&D shows, and none of them have exploded in the way that Critical Role has. And so if one half is the fascinating piece of Dungeons & Dragons, I think the other half is our relationships as friends.
How hurt are you?
How what?
How hurt are you? How hurt? No, how hurt? How hurt? Hurt!
9.
We've known each other for so long, and being voice actors, we've gotten really good at the give and take of interpersonal relationships, both on stream and off stream.
The cast's close relationship as friends and their professional acting abilities melded together in an amazing way that allowed them to create authentic moments at the table that, well, just had a certain magic to them.
I made a promise and I broke it, and you proved it to her. And I wish you hadn't meddled in my affairs. I don't have many things that I care about, and I don't have anything that cares about me.
That's a lie.
That is bullshit.
It's definitely
Full
untrue.
bullshit.
What? You think you care about me?
Yeah.
Yes, asshole, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, you're right. You like me because I make jokes, and I play songs, and I give you a warm place to stay at night, and I feed you fucking chicken, and I heal you in battle. But you don't really care about me. Come on. Let's be honest with each other. You don't really give a shit about me,
I've
do you?
changed my outlook on life because of you. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course we all love you. You could crush me
Prove it.
in a second.
Prove it.
How?
What do you want us to do?
We traveled into the fucking 9 hells to get Pike a suit of armor. We went and battled a city of vampires so Percy could feel good about his name. We fought Goliaths for grog. We've traveled across planes of existence so you could fix your fucking daddy issues. But you've never done anything for me. Ever. You've never risked anything. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. What's my mother's name? What's her name? Easy question. Died in front of me. Killed by a goblin. Biggest part of my life. What's her name?
9 years later, and the low barrier of entry has lent to a host of Critical Role style tabletop streams, allowing any group with half-decent microphones and an internet connection to post their game online. Thousands inspired to pick up, play, and perform in the same way Critical Role did.
Let me get a welcome to Critical Role on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Critical Role!
2023 was an insanely visible year for tabletop role-playing games. Critical Role continued to expand their reach by releasing the second animated season of their first campaign, and announced that their second campaign would be animated as a show on Amazon Prime as well. The D&D movie Honor Amongst Thieves was received pretty well from fans, although not recouping its $150 million production budget. And finally, the long-awaited game Baldur's Gate 3 was released to blockbuster success, taking home multiple Game of the Year awards from the Brazil Game Awards, Golden Joysticks, and the Game Awards show. Even Cyberpunk 2077, a game based on the classic tabletop game Cyberpunk, saw a wave of accolades and support from its new expansion Phantom Liberty. Things should be fantastic, but there's a problem. A growing fear in the community of increased commodification, a scary split between tabletop role-playing games as a fun activity with friends, and tabletop role-playing games as an entertainment product. In the wake of Critical Role's success, we've seen people take the wrong lessons about what actually made them successful, their relationships at the table, not the highly produced nature of the surrounding tech, nor their skills as just voice actors. These misunderstandings even go all the way down to people's home tables.
I think that stories are getting too good. I actually, my contention is exactly the opposite. I think that you have to be out there engaging with this stuff in your own way, with your own voice. My fear is actually that actual play and the rest of this stuff, my fear is that it's actually warping people's home games. It might be producing things that make the lives of DMs at home fraught. You know what I mean? Because it's like, sometimes we have the ability to do these things like as our job, and receive occasionally direct compensation for work like that.
The growth of the tabletop community has brought in so many amazing faces and voices that have risen as influencers and people to speak within the space, but there also has developed a slightly insidious subculture of clout chasing. Gabe Hicks, a well-known creator in the space who has worked with companies like Dimension 20 and Critical Role's own Darrington Press, remarked that he's been approached both in convention spaces and out in public by people asking him to connect to more quote-unquote influential people in the industry. Alicia, someone who just happens to have friends who are in the LA nerd space, says she's had a similar experience, posting pictures of parties that she's gone out with friends and other people just begging to be invited so they can meet with those people. Layer on the fact that Wizards of the Coast and their parent company Hasbro have had a year of missteps, both through layoffs, getting caught using AI art in published material, and Hasbro executives talking about how D&D is a criminally undermonetized brand. Stacking everything up, it may feel like the beautiful community that Critical Role inspired is going the same way that so many authentic things have fallen prey to before. It may feel like the golden age of tabletop role-playing games is over. But let me actually say why I don't think that's the case. And actually why I think we're headed towards an insanely awesome time to be a fan of tabletop role-playing games. The tabletop industry hasn't just grown at the top, but actually all the way down. Gen Con, the largest convention for tabletop gaming, actually shattered its attendance record this year by a whole 70,000. It's not like the people at the top are abandoning everybody else. Two of the largest leaders in the industry, Critical Role and Dimension 20, still continue to involve new cast members and voices from the community.
If I told you this is not the first time I played D&D on a curb next to a parking lot, but we know that it can. Every person in this crowd is dedicated to stories about overcoming impossible odds and telling people that in the depths of despair, there is always hope. And no matter what you are facing, when you face it together, you are unstoppable.
There's been a number of new grassroots events focused on promoting new and innovative voices within the space, such as Big Bad Con, the Crit Awards, and an actual play segment to the New Jersey Film Fest. The game Dungeons & Dragons itself might actually start seeing trouble in this expanding market as third-party creators unhappy with Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's choices look to distance themselves from the product by creating their own systems or spotlighting other creators within the industry. New actual play shows such as DesiQuest, Transplanar, and The World of Io continue to rise from the community, showcasing new and innovative voices. Even people on the entertainment and Hollywood side still have deep ties to the community and are committed to, as Encounter Party's own Ned Donovan puts it, build as many ladders as they grow. I don't think Hollywood is taking over Dungeons & Dragons. The industry saw amazing growth from the publicity of Critical Role, and it's really starting to see the benefits of that next generation. We're seeing more Critical Role productions because there's more room at the table. And even though there are a number of bad actors only attracted by fame or money, those loving community ties very much still persist as safeguards. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really meant a lot to me to kind of talk about something that I'm personally very passionate about in a community that I really love so much. So if you liked it, please give a like, comment below if you want to see something more, and subscribe. But I'll leave you with this quote that Matthew Mercer, the man himself, gave to Dicebreaker in an interview. There is still growing interest with much, much more room to grow. But part of what makes this whole space magical is the authenticity and genuine nature of joy and community around the tabletop experience. That can't be built in a lab. And there have been a number of failed attempts to do so. We think that's why those who have continued to succeed have, ourselves included. So we just keep following our hearts and cheering on our peers who follow theirs. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.